Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is July 30th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. You can see our system spinning over the west coast of British Columbia here. This means onshore flow for some of the area, but on the east side of the mountains here, we've got some low relative humidity, some gusty winds out there at times, and we're going to keep that increased fire danger going here for the next couple of days. We'll take a look at those details coming up through the extended forecast as well. Next weekend, we're probably going to be warming up here across the region. Nothing too extreme, but above average for many locations here. And then we'll take a look at the potential for a trough after that, starting to gain some traction in the extended forecast as well. Maybe even bringing some precip to areas west of the Cascades. This is looking at the Eagle Bluff fire out there. And if I scroll through here, you can kind of see it bouncing around out there towards Highway 97, Okanagan River Valley there. You can see it fired up during the day yesterday. Still going out there, and kind of interesting stuff here on the GOES 18 satellite imagery that you can continue to see this fire as it goes through the overnight hours here. So hopefully that thing is going to, get under control rather quickly. It is pretty close to Highway 97 out there, right on the Canada-Washington state border. There again, the Eagle Bluff fire, there it is, and you can see 97. At least there's fairly good access to the fire here versus some of the more rugged terrain. It's tougher to get firefighters into the region. Once you get into the higher rugged terrain, you can imagine you can get resources in there much easier. So at least there's that with this fire. But then again, you're closer to population centers here as well. Now, this is a red flag warning. Again, you could probably just consider this really much of the summertime here. You can see the Okanagan River Valley here. There's Chelan, Wenatchee included. Moses Lake, Ritzville, Spokane, Pasco. Low relative humidity, gusty winds, so heads up for that. Don't cause the spark. And this is looking at the Washington State Department of Transportation. You can see that fire making its way towards Highway 97 here. So interesting stuff. Heads up for that if you are headed out towards that area. And this is that weather station I've been talking about. Saved 10% down below if you want to click on that link there. All solar powered, wireless. It's got a lightning detection system on it. Smartphone app is great. Stores all this data for you in the cloud. You can scroll around and see everybody else's station here across the region, across the entire world actually here too. Or you can keep your data private as well. This is looking at SeaTac yesterday, 77 degrees, a little bit below average here, but a very nice day again. And that was the same day as 2009 here, 103 degrees. I remember that one quite well, as we are in our very dry, warm period here across much of the Pacific Northwest. And yeah, we're going to slowly start to creep those temperatures down, but it's a pretty slow trend as we go through August. August still a very warm month here across much of the region. More thunderstorms today. Just a heads up, if you're going eastbound out of Idaho into Montana, they are expecting some severe storms. You can see about Helena on through the eastern portions here. Lewiston starting to get to that slight. The further you go east, the bigger the storms, bigger the hail, larger the downpour, more dangerous the lightning. Strong gusty winds expected as well. You can see that Sunday, July 30th here. This is the National Weather Service Great Falls. Now here we're looking at the GFS. Let's back this up and start over. Again, you can see our system there spinning on the mid-level water vapor loop that we showed first. And then you see the troughing still hang out here, but it does back up over the Pacific a bit here. We build this ridge as we go through Friday. You can see it all the way up into Canada here. It's not a massive heat dome or anything, but it will bring us above average conditions here across the region. And this is the GFS that is running currently as I speak, 150 hours out. This would be Saturday morning shown here. Now this is looking at the European, same time frame about Saturday morning. You can kind of see the same ridge position here. So we got pretty good model agreement on the warm-up coming later this week into the weekend ahead. We'll take a look at the further extended forecast here in a moment, where there is some precipitation showing up in it. But this is Portland. Check out that red line there. Average temperatures this time of year around 85, 84. And you can see the bump up as we go through the weekend coming up here. Some 90s are possible for some of the Willamette Valley. This is Astoria. You want to beat that heat, get out to the coastline there. Look at that nice glorious temperatures. Very consistent. Upper 60s in towards the 70-degree range there. This is Bend, Oregon. You can see the bump this weekend here as well. Up into the 90s most likely. Average high this time of year right around the 88, 89 degree mark here. And you can see the slow trail off as we move towards mid-August. Seattle Metro, you can clearly see the bump in the above average conditions here, probably coming for Seafair weekend here around the Seattle Metro. And this is looking at the European. Check it out. Yesterday afternoon, some of the ensemble members are showing measurable precip. It's still ways out there. You're looking at the August 9th, 10th, and 11th time frame here. But the control run did show 0.6 of an inch. Some of the ensemble members starting to pick up on it as well. Something fun and interesting to watch here as we go through the next few days. Hoquiam out on the Washington coast, something similar there. Bellingham, also showing that. And check it out, down towards Salem, Oregon. Could even get some precip down there. And some of these could be arriving in the form of thunderstorms as well. Something to be watching here over the next few days. This is looking at yesterday afternoon's European control run. And we're going to scroll ahead here because this is August 2nd, and we're going to look way off into the future here. This is the next weekend, though. Thunderstorm activity maybe across some of the higher terrain. Saturday, Sunday shown there. But then you can see the system kind of spinning off our coastline and bringing some precip up across the area, even the Willamette Valley, western Washington. And this would be in the form of some thunderstorm activity as well. So, yeah, definitely something to watch here as we go on into the future here. Yeah, it's always fun to have something to look forward to, at least a little bit, even though it still is fantasy forecast at this time. Now, this is something that I'll show you here. This is the European, the 90th percentile. You can see the top 10 percentile of the European ensemble runs. And you can see some pretty good precip coming for Western Oregon and Washington. But again, that's the 90th percentile. We go down to 75th percentile here, and you can see it tails off quite quickly here. Only 0.2 of an inch for Seattle through the 15-day time frame here. The Willamette Valley, lesser amounts also, better amounts as you go up through British Columbia. Pretty typical this time of year. And this is 50th percentile. So this is about what the ensemble mean says. And you can see only a few hundredths for Seattle, maybe a hundredth for Portland here, a little bit better along the coast in BC again. And this is 10th percentile, says, nah, you're not getting anything for Seattle or Portland here, Willamette Valley, not even for some areas of the Southwest or the Vancouver metro here. Now, I want to just kind of address the fire danger here coming up. So as we go through the day today, you can see these winds are going to pick up as you go through the afternoon hours. So you can kind of see them surging down that Okanagan River Valley here. So you can see the difficulty the forest fires are going to have here with some of this, south winds. And then all of a sudden you get this wind shift as you go through the evening and tonight. And then it calms down a bit here again through tomorrow morning. Then you can see the surge redevelop here. So it's going to be tricky out there, as it always is, fighting fires here east of the Cascades. Now, also accompanying that, check out these relative humidities. And as we drop down through the afternoon hours, you can see the low relative humidities exist. Overnight hours, and we really dry out here again Monday. Check that out. Some very dry air here east of the Cascades. Pretty typical summertime stuff. And then again on Tuesday, we're going to do it again. So, yeah. Interesting conditions out there. Hopefully, the fire season isn't going to be that bad. We've been doing okay here across Washington and some of Oregon, although it is picking up across some of central Oregon already. And hopefully this isn't a sign of things to come for some of the Cascades. And hopefully you can keep most of the area smoke free. This is the fire outlook. You can see it is elevated east of the Cascades here across Washington, Oregon, towards California, Nevada, and portions of Idaho as well. This is a 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook through August 8th here. You can see a nice bullseye here as we move through the next weekend. 8 to 14 day, kind of continuing this on here. We'll see how this trends, though, with that trough hanging off the coastline here and a system moving through. This could change as well. This is a 6 to 10 day precipitation through August 8th. But as you can see, this goes through where that trough would be swinging through the area here. So this might be trending here as we continue to go through the next few days. This is the GFS ensemble mean. Even it shows the 16-day period. It is showing some precip for Seattle, even Portland, some of the Willamette Valley potential here as well. And check it out. So this is last night's GFS run, and the blue line is the control. You can see as we go through that time frame here, the ensemble mean has a trough coming through, but the control has higher heights here. So the control says, I don't believe a very strong system is going to be rolling through at this time frame, but the ensemble members disagree with that. So the control is on the higher end of these heights at 500 millibars, which would mean more ridging versus troughing here. But this will be something interesting to watch trend here as we go through the next few days as well. But anyway, yeah, watch out for those fire starts out there. You might kick off a thunderstorm across the higher terrain at BC, but the bigger storm should be off in through western Montana, off in through eastern Montana, the further you go east there. Just a heads up, don't get caught off guard if you're traveling eastbound today. So anyway, yeah, we've got our work cut out for us. We get to watch that trough coming up here towards the August 9th, 10th, and 11th time frame here. We're going to warm up this weekend, so we will take a look at that again tomorrow as always. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you guys then.